Hello, and happy birthday, happy anniversary to this great podcast. This is Checkpoint Chats, obviously. Hello, Matty.
They grow up so fast. Remember when we were just toddlers running around with bad audio quality, and we've got like not bad audio quality now. It's great.
Yeah, God, remember that very first episode, which we didn't even publish because it was so bad we couldn't publish it.
Have you actually gone back and listened to it?
It's fucking
It's awful. It's really awful.
Like, content-wise, okay, but
yeah, with the actual
audio.
quality. Oh my gosh. I still sometimes go back to episode 0, which is like our prequel episode. And I listen, I'm like, we should probably record this at some stage.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we may do with what we had at the time.
Yeah, but we've upgraded. We've we've bought equipment. So
yeah. Now we're professional.
I sound like Barry White by default.
I took down your bass on your volume because
Can you take down my nasality.
Your nasality.
Whatever that is.
I don't think I can.
Well, fine. I'll just.
I don't think that's how this works. I'm sorry.
Fine, put your bass up. I don't even know how that thing works. Every time you control it, I just see lights flickering. I'm like,
that light just means the compressor's working. That's all I know. Like, I'm like, cool, the compressor's working. The light shouldn't be on constantly, which it is now. I need to fix this. Oh no. Everything's burning down. Oh, no. Happy 10th anniversary.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. You even brought me flowers.
I bought my mom's car. That's how into Mother's Day I am. I've become a mom.
You've become Pink Apron.
I am Pink Apron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got flowers. I've got my mom's car. Because we went to breakfast and I had to drop off at home quickly. And
apparently you had really good waffles.
I had waffles for breakfast. So it was great. Man. So I don't remember what the place is called. I'll multitask and look it up while I talk to you. But they have sweet waffles, savory waffles, normal breakfast.
Do they make toasted cheeses with waffles?
They've got, my breakfast had bacon, egg, and melted mozzarella on it, so it's great. Fuck. And then I washed it down with a dessert of a waffle with ice cream and strawberries.
You had a savory waffle and then a dessert waffle.
I shared the dessert. This place is called...
That's atrocious, Matty. Jesus.
It's called Paoletto.
Paoletto.
Paoletto. Okay, and the easiest way to explain it is if you know where Holy Rosary is in Edenvale, it's over the road.
Holy Rosary is near Linksfield, isn't it? I'm thinking of some other school.
Yeah, no, it's close.
Is it over?
I'm thinking of Edenvale How maybe? I don't know.
Oh, okay, but it's over that road.
Do you know where the KFC is in Edenvale?
Yes.
It's like 1 minute away from there.
Okay, yeah. You see, I wouldn't call that Edenvale, but okay.
What would you? No, that is Edenvale, isn't it? Or is it Eden Glen?
I'm thinking of another school.
I don't know.
Whatever, that place. Yeah. So I know a really good waffle place in Edenvale. Definitely Edenvale. Near the Courts of Joe there. There's like a windmill there.
Oh, it's like the
in
Dutch
a corner.
bakery.
Yes.
Okay, but is this a separate place?
Yeah. You see, that's when you're like, oh, I got waffles in Edenvale. I was like, oh, it has to be that place.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe they're related.
That sounds pretty good. Waffles.
And it's not expensive, well priced. I mean, my bacon stack was like 59 Rand, which I think is pretty damn reasonable.
Bad,
for
nowadays.
Good breakfast.
I mean, we had to go to friggin' Mug and Bean because we planned badly, and that's the only place we could find the place. And I haven't been to Mug and Bean for ages because I think it's garbage.
Do you still think it is? I don't think they're that bad.
Well, okay, my food today, I mean, I hadn't been in a while, but my food today was okay. I had like an aubergine and halloumi wrap. It was pretty good.
Oh, that sounds good.
But shit, that shit's expensive. It was like $80 for this wrap.
Oh, damn.
My mom had like a salmon eggs Benedict and it was like 110 Rand. I was like,
but eggs Benedict, eggs Benedict by default is expensive. So add salmon in.
But yeah, it was okay. I had a nice iced coffee. I really enjoyed it. Iced coffee is just a coffee milkshake, let's be honest.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's
Day.
To
you and all the moms out there.
Yes.
Any moms listening, hit us up. Besides Zoe.
Wow. Just hit us up.
No, to let us know that you listen.
Damn, man.
No, we have one
this
mom.
Isn't that type
listens.
of podcast? Good Lord.
Aren't we rebranding?
So, yeah. If you could give your mother one game for Mother's Day, what would it be?
Are we taking it to the point where it's like a game my mom would have to learn to play, or am I assuming
you can take this any direction you want?
Oh man, that is a very difficult question, because if I had to take it the direction where my mom has no clue how to play games, which she doesn't, sorry mom, there's like no offense to you, but it's still a challenging thing. What do you recommend to someone today to pick up and learn from scratch? Although I've often thought about maybe a game like Journey. I don't know. That might be a bit vague though, because there'd need to be some guidance, I presume, from my side to be like, well, this is how the controls work. But I know I had that experience playing the game. I was like, shit, this is the sort of game I'd like my mom to play.
Yeah, because it's nice and chill, and you can, like, anyone can press forward on a controller and just go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
what
about Stardew Valley?
That's a good one, actually, but I think
maybe it's a bit too complex.
It's a bit too complicated,
systems.
yeah. Because when I played that, I do think like, yeah, this game's a lot of fun, but I don't know how user friendly it is, because there's a lot. I mean, you could play the game to the point where you literally water crops and you harvest them and you sell them. Like, that's simple enough. But I think when it comes to the finer details, like building relationships and mining and upping your equipment, then it becomes a bit complicated. But that's a good one, though. I mean, I could teach her the farm basics, and she could play that.
Yeah, I think it could be kind of like a neat game for anyone to kind of play, because I think it's pretty serene and pretty fun. But yeah, there are a lot of systems. So
what
Darren hates it.
Well, Darren's a monster.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
and Darren, I didn't know, but I think Darren is an avid listener of our podcast. So
yeah,
what up, Darren?
he says he enjoys it. That's why I mentioned. But I think he was on Twitter earlier, and he was like, "Yeah, man, not digging Stardew Valley." He basically just says it's boring, and I kind of understand where people can come from.
I get that. I mean, 100%. I played Stardew Valley for 4 hours, whatever. If I was like, I get it. I'm addicted to this farming game. Like, what's wrong with me?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're not into that style of game, I guess it can wear thin super quickly.
Mundane. But what would you recommend your mom plays?
Journey was kind of my thing, but that's because she's
stole your thunder.
She's wanted to play Journey ever since I explained it to her, and kind of. I think it's also, like you said, it's just an easy game to get into.
It's not. Yeah, there's no like reading. You literally just taking the visuals, and there's that unspoken something about the game that just resonates, and it's really special.
And I think it's also like really open-ended, so anyone can kind of get anything they need out of it. You know what I mean? So it's not specifically you need to play and you need to have a certain type of story to go with it. Because it's so vague in the way it messages things, it can mean whatever it is.
Multiple things.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a journey. All moms should play Journey.
It's a journey.
On Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
What you been playing?
So I've been playing.
Because I haven't been playing. Well, I've been playing stuff, but stuff I can't talk about. But
you can't talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about something later, though.
Some of it, okay. Well,
if we're publishing this podcast after Thursday, I could talk about it. But
hang on, I'm trying to timestamp while I talk here. Okay, so. For people who like the segments, I do actually take notes while I record.
Yeah.
But I've been
thank God, because it makes it. I mean, even though it's not precise,
I know, just a guideline.
It gives me a guideline of where to start looking to like cut these episodes up.
Man, but yeah, I've been playing God of War at last after all my going back and forth. Should I buy it? Should I wait? I finally bought it, and
you bought Boy Simulator 2018.
I bought Boy Simulator 2018 / Kratos Father Journey Edition.
As a quick aside, did you see Polygon's video of? So they got what's his name? Christopher Judge, I think it is. The voice
to tell dad jokes. I haven't watched it, but I have to watch it.
That is A-grade content. It's real good.
Isn't it a bit sad that we're talking about that game on Mother's Day? Because for those of you who don't know, in the new God of War, you start out the game and it's like, well, Kratos' wife just died, and obviously his son's mom.
That's not even a spoiler. That's just how it is.
That's the premise for the game, and you. I didn't know this, but you actually burn her body in the game, like in the first 30 minutes, whatever it is, and then you see Kratos like scoop up the ashes. Like, shit, I didn't know that.
It's pretty hardcore, yeah.
I thought it was like literally like, oh man, like this has happened. A few days have passed. We're going to journey to the mountain, take your mom's ashes up, because that was the premise.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I've been playing that, and it's still early days. I'm probably 4 hours in, maybe not even, maybe like 3 to 4 hours, maybe 4.5. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying it. And I know it's funny because I've heard from some people that like it just, well, from you being one of them, it just gets better and better and better as you play.
And definitely.
I'm at the point now. I'm really in love with the game, and I don't know how they can make it better. I mean, I know it will be, because I'm still learning the combat, and my enemies are still limited in a sense. They slowly introduce new enemies, but yeah, what a game! Playing on a standard PlayStation, and I can't believe that machine can push out those visuals. Like, it's not 60 frames per second, but it's smooth enough. And then just the close-ups, and I'm like, wow, the detail in this game is just...
Apparently it runs pretty well on the base PS4.
Yeah, I've had no issues.
Yeah, Digital Foundry found it ran at normal 1080p, and it ran at a near locked 30, which is kind of what you want. So, yeah.
And I mean, I don't know to what degree... the number of enemies ramps up to, but I've had a few fights where I'm like, shit, that's quite a lot of enemies, and there's a lot happening at any time, and it just works.
There's a lot of cool effects, like there's like little particle effects when you kill those Draugs. They explode into orange or blue or whatever. It's kind of rad.
It's a freaking pretty game.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
It is.
And then like I push the screenshot button at random, and I go and I look at them, I'm like, this really is, I don't know, it's just so it's lifelike, but it's not lifelike. There's something about that art style that I don't know, like I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, it's got a style to it, but there's also like this crazy amount of detail on, especially Kratos. You can see like
the close-ups of his face, yes,
like his muscles animating when he's climbing, and
when he's benching,
benching his boy,
benching like tree trunks and shit like that.
Casual,
I mean, it's just casual. Gods do, but hey.
Yeah. But yeah, it's you've only played around like 4 hours, right?
I've done the intro part, I guess. I've done that first boss fight.
What a fight. One of the best boss
really
fights
so
in
good.
memory.
Oh my gosh. I played that boss fight, I was like, I can't, like, if this is the first boss fight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, put it that way, that's probably one of the best in the game.
But still.
But it's such a high bar to beat.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh. That just set the tone for me. So yeah, sorry, you were going somewhere.
You haven't reached the Lake of Nine yet?
No. I'm still linear walking through.
It kind of like, thinking back, it's the one thing that bugged me about the game was just how kind of long it takes for the game to kind of get going. Because the Lake of Nine is your
like
hub world of sorts. Yeah. And that's where the game opens up really, really hectically. So I wish it got there a little bit faster, because I also took a while to get there, and eventually it's like you're not really messing around with crafting or upgrading until you get to that point. So
okay, I can't tell you. I finished where I've stopped off. I've just met Brock. So I'm like just after that.
Brock is cool.
Yeah, what a great character. Yes, I've like laughed many times in the first 5-10 minutes that I've met him.
I dig Brock. He's really cool. You'll meet other people soon. Very, very fun people.
Yeah, but I've made the mistake of choosing hard difficulty.
Yeah, that's a mistake in my book. I don't
know.
That game's hard.
It is hard, but that's a sort of game where I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I'm like, challenge accepted. I want to play this game hard, and oh my god, it is hard. I mean, the first few fights you sort of like stumble your way through, and I know that's more teething issues than difficulty plays a role, but I think to me it's more teething issues, because it's like, oh my god, like what buttons do I push for this? And I keep the first few fights I keep getting my like axe throw button confused with my block button, so whenever there's an attack coming up, ready my axe to throw it instead of blocking, and I die. I'm like, oh, well, that is just a stupid mistake.
You're getting used to the rhythm of the combat, how slow you need to take it.
But now I've reached a point where they start mixing enemies together. Like, I'm still early days, I know that. I've got a long way to go, but they started mixing some enemies together, and it's like, I don't know how to prioritize this. I don't know who to focus on first.
Use Atreus a lot.
Yeah, but like even their skill set, it's still bare bones. I mean, I've got the first tier of their skills. I've only unlocked 1 or 2 of the abilities, and it's like I can only really shoot arrows at the moment. So it's still prioritizing.
That opens up soon.
Yes, but I spent probably close to an hour on a boss fight where it was 2 of those big, what are they called, the tree thingies, the standard enemy. They're not trees, the
drugs.
It's those big tank ones. There's 2 of those.
Oh yeah.
Then there's one of those enemies where you have to get a trace to shoot an arrow at
the
her.
Revenant.
The Revenant,
worst
the one who
game.
throws poison.
I hate that.
I know.
I hate that enemy.
So it's 2 of those and 1 of her, and then when you kill her, more enemies appear. But it's like juggling. When do you dodge projectiles? When do you dodge the heavy attacks?
And
when do you
very
actually
little
go?
Life at
oh
the
my
start
gosh!
of the game.
I get
very
smacked.
Yeah.
So when I got to Brock, you only get 2 choices of armor, and the one's like, do you want to have more strength or do you want more defense? I was like, I want more defense because I'm playing on hard. I'd rather, at least for the beginning, have the ability to take more hits and like figure out the combat rather than one hitting an enemy or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that you can one hit an enemy because they have a lot of health.
Yeah.
So
eventually, like, as you get to the Lake of Nine and you start dealing with a lot more loot-driven stuff. Like you'll end up finding better armor than you'll buy from Brock, and you'll get armor that gives you new abilities and like runes that you can slot into your armor to give them different attributes. So then what happens is like enemies on the main story path start becoming real easy because you can kind of tell their difficulty by the color of their health bar. So you'll see they're usually green, so they're fairly easy. And then every now and then you'll like hunt down a side path thing or a secret, or you get these like rifts, which are kind of like combat challenges, and you'll open them up, and there'll just be like 3 or 4 guys that come out of there, and their health is just purple, and you're like nope, I'm out of here. Like they straight up, like even at the end of the game now, when I'm going back to it and playing some of it, I come across some of these things, and they just one shot you.
Sure.
Like straight away, like one hit, you can kill them 100% if you are very good at dodging and whatever, but like they touch you, they sneeze on you, you're dead.
They give you flu.
Good luck on hard with that, because I found normal
challenging.
Like, I never found it easy. I found the story a bit easy because I was spending hours and hours on the side stuff. But the side stuff never gets easy. No. So especially some of the hard end level boss fights. Like,
so I'll see, but I don't know. Maybe it's just an old school mentality where, when we look back 2-3 decades of games, it really was hard, and it's just repeat until you learn it and you get it right. And this is a sort of game where I know the more I play it, the better I'll get. I mean, and the thing is that when it comes to timing blocks and stuff, like I've got that down, but it's really just now figuring out. I mean, and I know there's going to be more enemies, so it's still early
you'll get different
days.
types.
I know I'm probably going to.
You also get types that will make you just hate life.
Yeah,
like there are some that are just.
My biggest issue actually at the moment are the projectile enemies, because I know they give you markers to be like, there's an attack coming from this side, dodge your side, but to me still it's a bit too much, and I'm just not used to all of it.
That's part of the reason why I didn't play the game on like because you have an immersive mode, so it takes away your HUD.
Oh my gosh.
But the problem with that is like, unlike Horizon Zero Dawn did a really good job of this, where you could kind of mark what aspects of the HUD were always on, were always off, or were adaptive. And when they were adaptive, they came up when they needed to be, and then they faded away when they weren't needed. God of War just has an on-off toggle for everything, which I think is pretty shit. And immersive mode just turns everything off. So you can't see your health, you can't see the map, you can't see... Which is nice, because you get this whole sense of, like, almost like you're watching a movie. But not having those markers to see everything... Like, a Trace does a good job of saying, on your right, or whatever.
But when there's too much,
way too frantic. And also me not being able to see my life like in a fight is kind of shit.
It's hectic,
Like if it appeared during a fight and then faded away afterwards, cool. But
although I do like that the HUD does fade between fights, so when you're just walking and navigating, you are literally watching a movie,
which is good.
And speaking of that, the fact that the whole game is done in, I don't know what the one shot. There's like a whole cinematography term, but it's literally one shot. The camera, you never change camera angle or anything, and it's just
the camera never cuts.
It's unreal. I mean, some of there was a moment yesterday where it's not spoilers or anything, but you enter a new area and then you are attacked, and then like a cutscene happens, but it never breaks away from the experience. You just pulled aside by a random enemy while Trace is being attacked elsewhere, and I don't think it's preempted in that like it has to happen in that spot of the map. I mean, I had a fight before and I just happened to be standing there, but the camera like angles itself regardless of where you are, and it plays out. It never like breaks that immersion, which is just really, really cool.
Just from a technical standpoint, it's kind of
amazing.
insane.
And even the load times, like I've spent a lot of time dying, and the fact that it takes 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's actually really quick to get back into the game.
I died a lot yesterday, I can tell you. Sure.
They find clever ways to mask the loading. You'll see when you get to the overworld, there's certain actions where you're like, oh, every time I have to go to this place, I have to do this action, and you realize what they're actually doing is just loading stuff in the background. That's smart.
That's very much like Resident Evil, the original ones where the doors are part of the experience, but that's literally just buying time to load the next area.
Yeah, Uncharted does that quite a bit as well. There's just moments like when you're going in a cavern and like there's a slit in the wall, so you need to press X, so you need to shuffle
That's so funny.
along. That is loading.
I was actually going to mention that because it occurred to me that a lot of games do that, and I never clicked why.
Yeah.
And that just explains
it's
why
a way
it's a loading mechanism.
It's a loading mechanism because they know that to get from this area to this area, you have to initiate this this action through this crevice. So it's not easy for you to go from one area to another.
So you take your time.
They can completely unload one area, load in the new one, and it can all be done while you're going through the small crevice, because all the camera or all the game is rendering is this tiny thing.
It's so funny though, because what I didn't realize that the game's got, I mean, it's not platforming, but it's like, I put a tweet out, I took a screenshot, I'm like, this new Uncharted game is great because you're literally navigating ledges like Nathan Drake would.
Yeah.
Okay, then you get up to a point and you walk through a crevice. I was like, oh my God, it really is Uncharted-esque in that sense. But now I know why.
Yeah, that's how.
Because a lot of games do actually do that. I'm always like, why is there such an emphasis on like getting through this narrow gap over here?
Yeah, so, it's just the ways to conceptualize that. It's it's smart,
clever.
But it's like if you don't think about it, you never wonder about it.
Well, thanks for ruining the illusion. Now I know.
I'm sorry, this is what happens when you work in games.
But I'm enjoying the game, and I look forward. I'm very much looking forward to just sinking dozens of hours.
I think when you finish it, we can have a really deep discussion on like chat. The ending and what it could mean, and where we want the series to go after this, because the way it's sold, it sold like 3 million in 3 days. There is no fucking unreal, way that they will not carry on with this. Not a chance in hell. But yeah, the ending was very interesting. Put it that way. Yeah, I'm excited to see.
I know there are many wow moments in, because I mean, even this morning, for example, Umar put out a tweet. It's like, wow, I just finished that part of God of War,
and I know exactly what he's talking about.
But I know there are moments like that throughout the game where it's like, it sort of just constantly exceeds expectations from what I've been led to believe.
There's a moment which is like, especially if you've played previous games, like there is a moment that is just, it was for me the best part of the game, because my jaw was just like, oh fuck, like, they're actually going here. They are actually doing this. Cool. Like, now I never expected them to do that. It was crazy. So that is the moment. Yeah.
Oh, man. But even speaking of past games, so it's always like we've spoken about it. You've said it's just clever how they've reinvented this character, and there is that history there, and you can play the game without knowing it, but you just appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, just the lessons Kratos is giving Atreus. Like, Atreus has his first kill and he's like very shaken by it, and Kratos just like gives him words of wisdom, and like I know it's more pertinent because I'm like, oh, because like that's what he had to do, or like he's been on this journey, and it just it's got more weight. So if you haven't played the previous God of Wars, I don't know, I don't think you have to play them, but at least have a catch up. Like I think it's almost compulsory just to know like the shit that Kratos has done to get to this point. It's mind blowing actually. Like he's quite a monster. Like let's be honest. And
that adds a lot to it. But I think there's a cool dichotomy between people who've played previous God of Wars and people who haven't. Because if you've played previous ones, you're playing this game through the perspective of Kratos, because you understand where he comes from, you understand what he's about beforehand, and you can see the difference. But if you've never played, you're almost playing the role of Atreus, because Atreus in the game doesn't know anything about Kratos' past. So
you're learning.
As that's divulged in and revealed in the story. Like,
and even the journal entries, I really like that they're written from Atreus' point of view, because it is
really
like
clever.
It's like, whoa, like dad killed these beasts here, and blah, blah, like it's just a clever way to flesh out the lore, and even like give you hints. So the more you play the game, they drop hints about, well, this enemy type, you should do this, but it's not like you should do this. It's like, well, dad struggles to do this, I think you should do this rather. And it's just like a very subtle,
really
clever
cool.
way.
It makes it more interesting to read because you have his personality injected into it. It's really fun.
It reminds me of, sorry to go back to The Witcher 3, but a lot of those, everything you read in that game is written not from Geralt's point of view, it's from Dandelion, which I think is just, it's just cool to have someone else interpret this person's story. I just think it's an interesting way to convey a narrative. And
it sounds less robotic when you read it.
Yeah, it's not like Geralt's like, well, I killed this monster. Kratos is like, this monster was strong. And it's like Atreus being wild, like, oh my God, like, I can't believe the size of this beast. Mom always warned me about them, but like dad took them down. It's just very, very cool.
It gives you insight into his sort of like persona, like what things kind of interest him and what things kind of frighten him as well. It's I noticed that very early on as well, and I thought it was a very neat touch. So, and I mean, God of War is a lot of that. There's a lot of neat little things that combine to make a very interesting and captivating game. I think it's really fun. I'm excited for you to carry on playing.
I just want to play more, man.
It's a good game.
So good.
And it's going to be stretched out long now that you're trying to go on hard. Good luck.
Yeah, but I was just going to say I'm playing it on hard, so it probably will be a witchy experience in the sense that it'll take me like 3 months to finish it, whatever the hell it is. But I don't know. I mean, the way I am now, maybe in a month or two, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm just over beating my head against the wall. I'm just going to drop to normal. But where I am now, I'm really enjoying the challenge because I'm like, oh, I was so close to beating this fight. I just did this wrong. I had this stuff up. But I don't know, maybe when they throw more enemies in and there's more projectiles and we're like, well, this is just too much for me, but we'll see. Long story short, I'm really very much looking forward to like taking my time with this game, proper, really just enjoying.
Okay.
So, yeah. And that's God of War.
Finally, yeah. Boy of War.
Boy of War, yes.
Of Dad.
He really does say boy a lot. It's like a lot. Boy, dude. He's very bossy. Jeez,
yeah, he's incredibly bossy. It's just because he can't
And very hard, yeah. But what have you been playing?
Not
I
much
know
this
you
week.
Can't really talk about stuff.
I've been playing a bunch of State of Decay 2, but I can't talk about that yet. The embargo's up on Thursday. I'm doing my review for GameSpot.
So don't say anything because the FBI will jump through the window.
I can't really say much. I can't there's a lot I want to say about it because the good thing is that the embargo's up well before the game goes on sale. So
it's okay.
Yeah, the game's only out on the 25th. So
will you be able to talk about it next week?
Yes, I will, because the embargo's up on Thursday, so I can freely talk about it next weekend.
That's something for next week.
Yeah. But before I started diving into that, I started playing a bit of The Forest. I think we mentioned it on the show before.
We mentioned that you were about to start playing it.
Yeah, so The Forest, for anyone who doesn't know, is a game that's been out on Steam for quite a while. I'd say close to 5 years now.
Yeah, I played it years ago in its early access. So.
And it basically is a survival game that you can play alone or with a few buddies. The premise is you are on a plane and
have you seen the TV show Lost?
Yeah, it's basically Lost.
Yeah, it's basically Lost. You crash.
The plane crashes on this island, and they've kind of added like a pseudo story. Like on the plane, you have this kid who seems to be your kid.
I think I vaguely remember that being. Yeah, but it was like a cinematic, like, hey, you've got a kid and you're on an island now.
Now your overall objective is to find this kid, whether he's alive or dead or whatever. And actually the opening of the game is fairly much, like kind of the same that I remember from 5 years ago, but there's a lot of cool quality of life improvements. You have this booklet that shows you all the sorts of different crafting recipes you have, and that has a neat tutorial on how to just get things set up, like how to build your first shelter and how to build your first fire, because the forest is like super survivalist. Like temperature affects you, so if you dive into a river and then you get out and it's night, you will start freezing, so you need a fire to warm up. It gets really dark at night, like the contrast between it is
terrifyingly dark.
It's terrifyingly dark. Like if you're fighting enemies, the island has like cannibals.
Thought you would drop that in there.
They're super scary still. Like everything's so silent, and every single one of your footsteps that crunch on the leaves, like you're like flinching a little bit and looking. And then there's like this almost like musical tone. You see these cannibals like running in the distance, and next thing they'll just fucking stop and stare at you.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's horrifying. It is so scary.
I remember that.
And then sometimes they'll attack you. Sometimes they'll keep their distance. Sometimes they'll climb in fucking trees and just like ambush you from the top.
I don't think that was in the game when I played it. They can climb trees.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I was just building my friggin' like... So what I like a lot about the forest and its crafting is that you have a recipe in a book, and then you place the recipe on the ground, and then you have to take items to it to fulfill it.
Oh, yes.
Which is nice. And then it has a completely separate crafting system where like you can place your weapons on like this mat. You have like a bunch of resources around a mat, and you can just put a bunch in the middle and you see if they combine into something.
Duct tape them together.
And stuff like that.
Something.
So that's for smaller things, but for houses and structures, like you put a blueprint on the floor and it's like you need 10 logs or whatever. So when you cut down a tree, it gets segmented into logs, and then you have to carry the logs physically to there. It's really cool. Yeah. And you can build tools that help you. Like you can build like a wheelbarrow that lets you take 3 logs instead of just one at a time, or you can build a structure that lets you store sticks and stones so that you don't max out
so people don't break your bones.
Hey. So yeah, I'm busy in this like in this open field, and I'm just constructing. I've built like a small little log cabin. As I'm building, I'm hearing like these leaves like rustling.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh, it's the birds. Because these birds, for some reason, they're these birds that seem very inquisitive. Like one came in and sat on like my shelter, and I just fucking whacked that thing with my axe. And I was like, cool, I have food. Like, because then I just put it in the fire, and like I have food, because you get hungry so quickly. And then like I'm seeing shadows. I'm like, oh, that's not a bird. And I look up, and there's this fucking cannibal just
in the tree,
just
that
like
is
chilling.
Terrifying.
And just like, and then it jumps and it screams at me, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And you can kill them. If it's like one or two, it's not that bad.
But when they swarm you,
that's the thing. Like there's a stamina system. So when you swing, you lose stamina, and if you like deplete all your stamina, your swings hardly do any damage, or you actually start taking damage. So you have to balance that out, and you can't really get into huge tussles if you just have a normal axe too.
Yeah.
And then when you kill them, you're full of blood. So it's like, you better wash this blood off before you become infected.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus, there's a lot going on in this game. Yeah. So I didn't play much. I built like a cool cabin, and I have a fireplace next to my cabin, and whenever it goes dark, I hide in there until it's midnight, because at midnight you can go to sleep until the next day. Because when it's dark, you can't see shit.
Yeah.
Like, it is terrifying. You hear things. You're just like, I just want to go to sleep. I want to be safe. It really drives home, that thing. So I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it looks
I've
pretty...
got it. I must download it.
Yeah.
Are you playing on PC?
Yeah. Well, funny thing is, I owned it in early access, but then when I went back to try and launch it, I had to purchase it again.
Oh.
I don't know if that was a thing, but it was only $130.
Yeah.
So
I'll have a look.
Cool.
But I mean, I can't remember if I bought it back in the day, or if it was like a free to play thing. But
maybe it was free to play.
I don't know.
But I seem to remember owning it. I was also very confused. Maybe they give you a discounted rate if you bought it on early access, and now you have to buy the full thing.
I don't know.
But it was $130, and it's got that weird like Unity look to it. Like I don't know if this is true, but every time I look at certain things, I'm like, that looks like it was like a standard asset that was bought from a store or something like that. Not to say it looks bad, it's just like it doesn't have a unique feeling to it. It looks very standard,
generic, yeah.
But the game runs pretty well. It looks really nice with the lighting, and I think it uses its light very nicely. But the sound is really good. The sound is paramount. Like hearing things, and it like you walking over a twig and it's snapping, and you like flicking your mouse around to like see if something's fucking behind you. It uses sound super, super well.
Yeah.
Which is just sad then when like I look at certain resources and I'm like, cool, this is a tree I can cut down because it looks fully modeled, and when I hit it, it chips away at the trunk like realistically. But then right next to it is a flower that is like a 2D texture that almost looks like something out of like old Doom.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus. So
and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That it's an indie game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that sort of sense, is like I can see this didn't have a huge budget or a huge team on it. Like they focused on what they could.
But they've left you with I know you're still going to play the game, but you're having a good time regardless. Yeah,
definitely. I'm having a much better time than I did with Rust, which also came out like around the same time in early access. And yeah, I'm having a much better time with The Forest so far. I think it will be fun with someone else because right now it's just a bit slow because when I build things, it's like only me taking resources.
Yeah, I've only played it. I've played it with. I know I played it at definitely duo with a friend, but I've vaguely recall playing it with 3 people.
Yeah, you can play with 3 people. I don't know if the limit's 4. But I definitely know you can get to 3.
But it's a lot easier because it is like, okay, well, we need to build this cabin. Let's just chop trees. So it's much, much quicker. You're just all running back and forth quickly. So imagine when it's just you going back.
I think the whole game actually just increases its speed then, because like you get up to a more constant survival rate. Like you can set up things for food and shelter pretty quickly. And that just means you can start crafting better weapons and stuff quicker and exploring the island a bit more, because there's loads of secrets on the island.
Yeah.
Like I remember from early access that there are caves where there's like, oh fuck, I remember this one time in early access, I was exploring this cave and I'm like, oh, there's like bones here and shit. Like I shouldn't be here.
This is awfully ominous.
And I'm carrying a torch because it's dark, and next thing the torch goes out.
Oh.
And when I relight it again, there's just candles all
everywhere.
I just see eyes.
Shit.
Like,
did you die?
Yeah, I died straight away. Like they were just chilling there, and then they all jumped me, and I died straight away. Like,
and they ate you like KFC.
Well, that's why there were bones there, clearly. So yeah,
no.
It is slightly ruthless, but it's a really good game. I'm really enjoying it.
I remember playing early access. I did enjoy it, and it was one of those things like, okay, cool, I'm gonna come back to this when it's, done.
When it has all the content, yeah.
And now it is, but. I don't know, with God of War and other stuff I'm playing. I don't know.
Come play with me, Matty.
I will. If I own the game, I actually can.
That's all I've been playing. What you've been playing something else?
So here's something.
I mean, how are you playing something in conjunction with God of War?
Well, Switch, of course, is the correct answer to that. So here's something interesting. I'm playing the first Bayonetta, which is very much similar to the first God of War in terms of like combat, that sort of vibe where it's, well, I don't know, it reminds me of that sort of like combo. Cool. I'm just
character action.
Yes, character action. Sorry, I'm butchering this because I'm busy like thinking simultaneously. I'm like, but God of War didn't really have combos, but it did, but not to the degree.
Yeah,
that
God of War was like
Bayonetta
a bit toned down character action.
Yeah. So, but Bayonetta reminds me of that. That you've got these big ass enemies and you're just comboing them to death, whatever. But yeah, I'm also still early days in that, only 3, maybe 4 hours in.
How crazy is that opening?
Yes, all I can tell you is that first hour was like a 150% what the fuck. It is it's
so crazy.
Very, very crazy game, but like in the best way. It's over the top in such a good way.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be mad at the game. You're like, I can't believe that happened, but it's Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Like, of course that's going to happen.
It
like,
really doesn't hold back. Like you're in for this ride from the moment that game starts.
So I'm still learning the game, I suppose. I mean, there's a whole lot of combos I'm still trying to figure out. At the moment, I'm like just button mashing, to a degree. And then learning dodges, and there's always new enemies being introduced. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
How satisfying is that dodge though? When you
the dodge, when
you get it and you go into witch time and slow everything down.
When they first introduced it, I was like, it's a bit ridiculous that every time you dodge, time slows down. Like, surely this is just over the top. I'm like, actually, it's very necessary because those enemies are fucking difficult. Well, some of them,
starts becoming hard. Like some enemies are super fast, so pulling. Because the witch time only works when you dodge at the last moment.
Yeah, the very last moment.
Yeah. I mean, the window is pretty big, but it's still like sometimes you'll dodge and just miss that window entirely.
But it's interesting in that with that game that I'm playing it simultaneously to God of War, because it just makes me remember the old God of War games, and I just appreciate, not that there's anything wrong with Bayonetta, but I appreciate the new God of War, thinking like, I'm glad they went this direction. But Bayonetta is funny in the sense that when you're playing the game, you'll go to a new fight and you'll like just die once or twice, and then all of a sudden you just get it right because you figure out what to do. And I don't know, you maybe learn the arena or who you're up against.
You learn some of the weaknesses.
And then the progression. I'm not playing on hard though, which is I don't know. It's so funny that I don't want to play that game on hard, but I'll play God of War on hard, and I can't explain why.
I think Bayonetta is pretty good on normal. I found myself trying to get the because after each enemy encounter you get a score.
Oh my gosh, my scores are awful.
Yeah, so I try tackle those. It's like more like, I think you do well if you don't take damage, if you dodge, if you use your special a certain amount of times, so stuff like that.
It's a sort of game that you should play again, I think, because then you're like, oh, I know exactly how to platinum this fight, whatever. But yes, the number of stone awards I've gotten, I'm like, so like after I've had a couple of fights, so it's like pure platinum. I'm like, wow, I'm amazing at this game. And then like literally the next fight, it's like, you get a stone award. I'm like, what? Oh wait, no, I don't think you can get a stone award, and if you get like bronze, I think
you can get stone.
Can you get? Okay, I haven't been that bad, but I've reached the end of a level before where it's like, you get the stone award.
You definitely can get stone. Like if you end up in a fight where you've had to take like 2 healing items, stuff like that, it'll just be like stone because you just take so much damage.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna probably play more of that. But how long is that game? I have no idea.
It's not that long. It's like 10 hours or so.
Okay.
Yeah, and the second one's around the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, I played the first one for the first time on the Wii U. I actually bought Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U as well, but just never got around to it and ended up playing it on the Switch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Bayonetta 1 is special. Like there's moments in there that I don't particularly like. There's some 1 or 2 cinematic fights that are pretty shitty, I think. But the main thing I love about Bayonetta, which is in the first and the second one, is just the way it deals with alternative weapons. So right now you probably you only have the pistols.
No, I actually have a sword as well.
You have the sword. Okay, cool. So like you have A and B slots, which are assigned to your hands or your feet. So when you get other weapons, you can start putting like one weapon on your hands, one weapon on your feet, or you can duplicate them, like have both sets on both. And depending on which appendage you put them onto, you'll have different types of attacks. Yeah. And it's really nice, like experimenting with that. Like, what if I put the swords on my feet and keep guns in my hand? Or what if I swap that around? Or
that is ridiculous.
What if I get I have a ridiculously slow weapon and I put that on my hands, and then I put a fast one like the blades on my feet, or like whip attacks on my feet. Like, the way it switches up combat is really interesting.
And what's amazing is that, so like I said, I'm button bashing for the most part, but the level of combos, so every time there's a load screen, you get a moment or two to just like see some of the combos, and it's literally light attack and heavy attack, but you get combos that's like light attack, pause, light attack, but then there are just tons of variations of these, like heavy attack, light attack, pause, heavy attack, and then you like the number of things I do, I don't even know how I'm doing them. It's just, there's like not infinite, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a long
over the top amount of combos. And then when you start throwing in different weapons, it's like, holy shit.
But that's why it sometimes feels good, because you feel like you're button mashing, but you're still engaging some
doing
of these
some
really
amazing
long combos. Yeah.
doing some amazing
and eventually
stuff.
you'll start recognizing like, oh, okay, I pulled off that combo. That was actually pretty easy to do. And you'll find ones that you're comfortable with and just keep those in your repertoire.
Yeah.
So yeah, the combat in the game is really good. It's like one of Platinum's best attempts, I think, at games. So yeah, I'm happy that you're playing it finally. The story's just ridiculous. Just good luck. Like, good luck trying to follow
it. It's hilarious.
Anime as fuck. Crazy.
I just laugh because and
Bayonetta is great. I think she's a great
interesting character. And I know it's so weird because they've actually injected proper lore into that game, where I honestly expected okay, you're Bayonetta, a witch, and you're trying to figure out your past because whatever. But then it's like you pick up a tome, it's like, oh, here's a quick history of this area, and it's like not like a paragraph, it's like a lengthy read to a degree. It's like, oh, okay, like I have to read this and scroll, and it's like the witches and blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, that's cool. They've
the
actually
like Umbra,
they've actually built out a lore that goes with it and everything. It's not just it's still like mindless to an extent, but there's a story there.
And the story's interesting. It's just like, it's ridiculous in so many aspects that it's hard to take seriously at times. So
yeah, the game is hard to take seriously. I mean, there's one part that stands out where there's like this massive demon, it's like a giant dragon / face floating in the sky, and it's busy talking to you or something, and then Bayonetta just interrupts it by shooting at it, like in the face. She's like, what? And I'm like, what? This game's insane. But like I said, in the best way possible, you appreciate it. You're not like, this is just...
I love her interactions with that dude she calls Cheshire Cat the whole time.
I think
his name's Lucas or something.
Luca, yeah.
Luca, yeah.
Yes, it is, because he always makes a point.
Yeah, he's like...
My name is Luca.
He's great. And the like... very stereotypical Italian New York mobster who's just in the middle of this fight of like angels and demons. It's ridiculous.
So good. And then that's that other dude's name? Rodane.
Oh, Rodane. He's like a weapons master.
Suave, like really cool barkeeper / weapon maker.
I can't remember if it's also in the first one, but in the second one, the way you get new weapons is you bring him pieces of these like special vinyls.
You do the same in the first one.
And essentially it's just like a vinyl that he can play that like will keep him entertained while he beats the shit out of something in hell and steals their weapons from you. Like that's the only purpose of that record. Like, so he has music to.
But that's like how crazy. So for those of you who don't know, that's the extent of how crazy Bayonetta is. Where they've like fleshed it in that the reason you're collecting records for this guy is just so you can have music to steal you weapons from demons.
And the records of like angels dying or some shit like that. It's
bizarre.
So bonkers. It's crazy. Like
that's Bayonetta.
It's something. It really is something.
Still early-ish days. Well, I suppose I'm nearly halfway then if it's a 10-hour game, but it still feels like I'm fresh in the game. I haven't done too much, and I am enjoying it as well. I'm just playing really good games lately.
You are playing very, very good games at the moment.
Amazing games.
Yeah. Should we look at what games are coming out this week?
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything...
I got to look at my phone because I don't have my laptop here.
And even if you did have your laptop, we just awful. Last time it was like, the internet's dead. Oh no,
this isn't working.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about our sponsor?
Pink Apron.
No, today we're talking about Triangle Space.
Triangle Space.
You know, Squarespace's best competitor.
Oh, okay. So they only make websites for your phone?
No, they help you build real houses.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
okay, cool.
That's Triangle Space.
I like that. From an assortment of templates, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's assortment
no code
of
needed.
templates. No builders needed.
No build. Whoa! Do they just deliver your house?
You just choose your template and they deliver your house.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's Triangle Space. I don't know what.
I want that.
What is Squarespace's slogan?
A better way to cook.
No. What is Squarespace's slogan? I can't
Think
remember.
it, dream it, Squarespace. I don't know.
Something. So think it, build a Triangle Space. Bam. Nailed it.
Now we just need an advert with Keanu Reeves in. Have you seen the Keanu Reeves Squarespace advert?
No, okay, but I know it starts. Every time it starts on YouTube, it's him looking at a campfire.
It's fucking hilarious.
And then I skip it. So should I watch it?
Yes, it is so good. It's just like him using Squarespace to build a website for motorbikes. And like, it's just, I don't know. At the end, man, he's looking at it and he's like, it's beautiful. And he just has this tear coming down his eye. And then he takes his fucking MacBook and throws it in the fire.
But why?
I don't know. But it's so funny. There's a 5-minute version of that ad and it is the best. It is so good.
Isn't Keanu Reeves just a gem?
Oh my God, I love it. It's the most
I have to go watch it now.
shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's so funny because I've seen that ad's been served to me many, many times. I'm like, oh, skip. Wait, is that for Squarespace? Isn't that for...
No, it's for Squarespace. 100%
Who's Wix then?
Wix is another... Wix is like Squarespace.
So I'm not mad. Okay.
They've got Will Ferrell does an advert for them.
Oh my gosh.
If I'm not mistaken. Anyway.
Yeah. If you had to choose a celebrity for Triangle Space, who would you choose?
Keanu Reeves is dope.
Let's just have him double tap. I mean, why not?
So I was a bit wrong about State of Decay 2. So Microsoft does this thing where they have Ultimate Edition of games, and those come out earlier for you if you pay extra. So that's coming out on the 18th, which is 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. 18 is the Friday, I think.
Hang on, I'll do some quick... it's Friday.
So the reviews are out the day before. If you're buying the Ultimate Edition, you're like, you don't give a shit about the reviews.
You're gonna play,
honestly. So that's coming out on the 18th. Then we've got Battle Chasers, Night War. I don't know what Battle Chasers is.
I know. Okay. Why do we always have these games we don't know?
I think for some reason I think Battle Chasers is like. Fuck.
I'd ask you to pitch me the game, but you did such a poor job of. No, I'm kidding. You did an excellent job of what is it called? Redneck. What is it called?
Oh wait, I have it here. Immortal Redneck.
Immortal Redneck.
Fuck me.
Yeah, the game that's set in Egypt. Who would have thunk?
Jesus Christ. Actually, one of the games we were speaking about last week called City of Brass. I saw a bit of it. It's like a roguelike first-person game, but you have a sword and a whip.
Oh, yeah? And Castlevania.
Yeah, but first person. It looks fucking cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of cool. You should check that out.
As a matter of interest, I think you briefly mentioned last week about some game with the way you can manipulate pixels. You couldn't think of the name. You don't happen to know the name.
No, I forgot to look for it.
Damn it.
It's got a weird name. I don't even know what to search for it. Like, I need to find it.
Do you know what genre it is? Is it like an RPG?
It's like a roguelike as well, I think.
Is it a Diablo-like game?
No, okay. It's not action RPG like that.
Just checking, because at breakfast this morning, a family member was telling me about this game, and I was like, and he mentioned something about like an interaction happening. It's like, maybe that's the game you were talking about. But this game's
like
biggest
2D.
thing is this game's meant to be like a Diablo killer. That's why it's
maybe it's talking about Path of Exile.
No.
Okay.
No. I can't remember what it's called now.
Anyway, Dragon's Crown Pro. Nope. Okay, next. Nope. Horizon Chase Turbo. I think that has to do with cars.
Probably. Although we never know. Maybe it's a game set in like Turkey where you gamble.
Go on.
No, I'm done. That's
Go on.
My pitch.
Little Witch Academia Chamber of Time. Now I know what Little Witch Academia is.
That sounds very familiar.
Little Witch Academia is this anime which I watched on Netflix.
An anime. That's what it is.
But it's like an anime version of Harry Potter where there's a magic school just for witches. and it's charming as fuck. It's really cute. It's really fun. The game is like a light RPG-ish thing. I don't know. More time with those characters is all I'm down for, because like it's just really, really fun. It's a really cool story. You should watch it on Netflix. It's cool.
Netflix.
Omen Sight?
No. Omen Sight.
Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redo. Now,
oh my god,
I know what Shin Megami Tensei is because Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So Shin Megami Tensei is a more like serious take, but with some of the same like sort of characters and the same sort of combat. Like you still have Jack Frost and the Jack Lantern in Shin Megami Tensei. So I guess this is a remake of an older version that's coming to 3DS. I've never played any of the core
3DS,
ones. I just know that Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei.
When last did you touch your 3DS? You do have a 3DS.
Yes. Yeah, I actually bought a game for the 3DS the other day because the Nintendo was having a special locally on 3DS games.
I actually saw that. Yeah, I never picked it.
I bought A Link Between Worlds because I've never played it.
And there were a couple of Zelda games I wanted to pick up. They're all sold out by the time I saw that.
Yeah, A Link Between Worlds for $200. It's like fucking hell yes. You need to play this eventually. So, cool. Far: Learn Sales selling game.
These names, we actually have to dedicate an episode just to finding the most ridiculously named games.
Far: Learn Sales.
Is that another game?
I don't know what it is. No.
But
it sounds familiar. I don't know.
No
clue. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition coming to Switch.
I never played
That's
Hyrule Warriors.
Koei Tecmo, I think it is.
Is that like
Dynasty
the
Warriors
Dynasty Warriors / Zelda spin-off?
Yeah. Not my type of game.
Is that...
There was a Fire Emblem one last year.
But is that the sort of game where, correct me if I'm wrong, where you've got a character and you just swarmed by like 4 million enemies?
And you just fucking slash enemies over and over and over. It's not my type of game.
No, I've never tried it. So
Darren really likes them. Or he liked the Fire Emblem one quite a bunch.
But Darren doesn't like he doesn't like Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
So
you get to play as a female version of Link in this one called Linkle,
called Zelda.
Kind of strange.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. There's a mod for Breath of the Wild that is because you can emulate Breath of the Wild on PC using all sorts of piracy, and there's a mod that you can play Zelda instead of Link. Fuck, Nintendo put this in the game, man.
That'd actually be so funny if they just swap the roles where it's like literally Zelda helping Link out now.
Zelda can fucking shoot a bow. I'm down with that shit. Little Nightmares Complete Edition coming to Switch. Apparently Little Nightmares is really good.
Yeah, it's so funny because that game came out, I don't know, was it a year ago, whatever it was, and I didn't think it was going to be like amazing, not in a bad way. I'm not trying to knock the game. I haven't played or anything, but it's weird because it seems to be a lot more popular than I thought it would be. But I don't know if
it's like almost like a limbo-ish type of vibe to it. It's apparently very good. That's all that's coming out this week. There's a fuck ton of shit next week. Oh my god!
But then we hit a busy week, and then it's E3.
Yeah, even the week before E3, there's like big games coming out. Just before E3, yeah.
Can you give us a tease? Name one. Pick one.
Jurassic World Evolution.
No.
Or Vampire.
Oh, Vampire.
Or Onrush.
Okay, whoa, that's too many.
Sushi Striker.
So is that a soccer game? Football
Mario
game?
Tennis Ace. Oh no, that's at the end of June.
Well, thanks for ruining the end of June.
Shit, the end of June's got a lot of shit coming out as well. My god. People aren't stopping. My goodness.
It's a good time to be a gamer, yeah. Just stop right now.
Speaking of E3, I was thinking that we should have a E3 predictions episode, but maybe we should do that next week.
I think, I don't know. We haven't spoken about this off Mark. I completely forgot what the term was.
Off mic. What is off mic? Are you riding the microphone?
Yes, I am. I do it all the time.
Look at this coaster. My god.
She's like coaster stuck to Red Bull. You want to know something?
What?
That Red Bull literally made that coaster fly.
I'm done. I'm out.
That's this week's Unfriend moment.
10 episodes. I'm done. I'm out.
This is where we cash out. What was I going to say? Oh, we haven't spoken about this, but so Alessandro, you are off to E3, right? Correct? Mm-hmm. Guaranteed. You go off to the States.
I leave on the 8th of June.
So I don't know what we're going to do when you're gone, but maybe it is a matter of recording some episodes before, like just doubling up, or recording when you're there?
I don't know.
When
I'm there, because we can just as easily Skype so we can see each other when we're talking. And then
because I'll miss you, man. I have to see you.
I won't miss you. Fuck
no.
I'm gonna be away for 2 weeks as well, because I'm going to San Francisco afterwards again.
San Fran. Not watching baseball this time.
Fuck that noise.
No. Okay, but yes, I agree. We should actually have an episode where it's like not what are we playing. We just do E3 predictions.
Yeah, predictions. I think next week is a good week, because it's like 2 weeks away from the show, and it would be really cool if people get involved with that. I think we'll put up tweets and stuff, but like, send us your lists of 5 things you want to see, or your most outlandish predictions, or whatever. But we'll put up stuff.
Yeah, we actually got some really cool questions this week, which we'll get to later. But yeah, we will put out communication, like just tell us what you think's coming. I know what I want. There's only one thing I want. Do you want a hint? Do you know what it is? What is it? What do you think it'll be?
Final Fantasy VII reboot.
Shit. Is that? Oh, fuck. I don't know. That game's. I don't know. That's in the. I just want the Ori, man. That's all I want.
Oh, right. Yo, what's it called? Wisps of the Wind?
Wisps
of the Wind.
Now you've thrown me off. Will of the Wisps.
Is it Will of the Wind? Oh, I really thought it was Wisps of the Wind.
No, you butchered the name last week and you butchered again this week. We done. This podcast really has had
Ori and the forest that can start seeing better again.
Yes. So, but one game you want to see? Just sorry.
I still haven't finished the first Ori.
I know you're a bad person. Such a bad person.
The one game I want to see. The one game that I want to see that I know already won't be there.
Yeah. Whatever. Pick a game.
The one thing I do want to see, and I think it probably might be there's new Splinter Cell. 100%.
Sorry, I'm distracted because I've got to timestamp this little side note. New Splinter Cell.
Fuck, I'd love it.
Fascinating.
Oh my god! Like with Metal Gear gone for the foreseeable future, I need more Splinter Cell.
Are we doing gaming news? Because isn't
Let's get to that.
What a segue! Yes, we're professionals.
There was a big leak via Walmart.
Yeah,
places Walmart Canada. Was it this week or last week? I can't remember. I had to go double check if we had spoken about it or not. I don't think we spoke.
I don't think we did.
Whatever. We're speaking about it now. Deal with it.
Speak of the shit.
So retailer leaks are always touch and go because they're very easy to fake. But just the sheer amount of stuff that Walmart put out at once made it fairly legitimate. And the fact that they were mixing very obvious announcements, like things that you look at and go, yeah, cool, I can see that.
That's going to happen.
With announcements like, holy shit, what? And then with games that we know are coming out. So if we run down the list of interesting things, we see a new Gears of War, which is kind of strange.
Do you know the list by heart? Because I'm busy looking it up.
I know most of. Let's see how many I get right.
Okay, wait. I need to find a list. Hang on.
I think we did a list.
This is a shit. Oh wait, here we go. Okay. Let's see how many you get.
There was Gears of War.
Yes.
Forza Horizon, which we know is 100% coming. There was Dragon Quest 2, but which obviously refers to Dragon Quest Builders 2. There was a new Assassin's Creed. There was a new Splinter Cell. There was...
Shizak.
No, I'm forgetting. There was Just Cause 4.
Shit, yes.
There was Rage 2.
Oh my god, yes.
There was...
I think you're too short.
Yeah, I think I'm too short.
The one's quite an obvious one.
Division 2.
No, that's not on the...
What? Okay, that was definitely on the listing, but maybe they just omitted it because it's already been announced.
Yeah.
Do
you want a hint?
Yeah, give me a hint.
What do you use to change something in your car when you're driving?
What?
Think of the lever.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Gear. I said Gears of War.
No, not Gears of War. The studio that makes...
Oh, Borderlands 3.
Oh my gosh. So when I thought of that hint, I was like, you know those gears you used to change? And I was like, wait, that's in the name.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then you're like, Gears of War. I was like, yeah, well, you're not wrong. You've got one more.
Borderlands 3. Shit, I don't know the last
one. Lego DC Villains.
Oh, fuck that. Who gives a shit about Lego?
Jeez, like you did so well though. So let's recap. Just Cause 4, Splinter Cell, Dragon Quest 2, Lego DC Villains, Borderlands 3, Rage 2, Gears of War 5, Forza Horizons. Is it Forza Horizon or Forza Horizons?
Yeah, they misspelled it. It was also meant to be 4 because 4 hasn't come out yet. So.
Well, who knows? Microsoft skipped Windows 9, so...
skip 4, like, why not?
And then Assassin's Creed, which...
So, let's go through that list.
So,
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, not a big shock, I don't think.
I'm kind of shocked because, after Origins and them taking a whole year off, I was like, cool, then maybe they're going to alternate between Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs.
I remember you saying, yeah.
But, if this is...
They might still,
we should put it out there that this is all up in the air still. Yeah. This is a retailer leak. It could be fucking all bullshit. But there's certain things on this list that make me think that a lot of it is real, but we'll get to that.
But sorry, what you're saying, they might still do it. I mean, they could announce an Assassin's Creed this year and then release
maybe
it
for next year. Yeah.
So tease something.
I mean, they've never done that, but that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I know that they do release, like I say, a Watch Dogs this year then. So
Division 2 is on that list. We know that is definitely going to be
coming.
Well, we're going to see our first look at it at E3. Then Splinter Cell. Now, Splinter Cell's been rumored for a long time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it at Ubisoft. It's like their one big thing, and I would love to see more. A new Splinter Cell.
You're saying it's their cap off of their
I think
conference.
It will be. Like last year it was Beyond Good and Evil, and back in the day it was Watch Dogs. I think this is going to be their capping off thing.
Yes.
Whether it comes out this year, I don't know, but it's been a long time since Blacklist, Blacklist is fucking phenomenal. So can't wait for more Splinter Cell.
What else? What is Splinter Cell in Portuguese? Oh my god!
I don't know.
Go wait, sorry. Just to throw you off. Do you know what popcorn is in Afrikaans? Lenske told me this yesterday.
Millie pop.
You're very close.
Really?
Afrikaans is literal, so think about it. What is it? Spring millies.
I fucking hate Afrikaans so much.
They don't be mean. I mean,
Spring millies.
When Nancy told me that, I was like in the sticks, I'm like, it really is literal. We've got, and I'm not surprised because we've got words like verkykers, which is binoculars, far lookers.
Yeah.
And the one that always boggles my mind, laypad, which is a leopard, but it's actually lazy horse, which doesn't make any sense. So
I still love that hippos are called
spring millies.
What are hippos called? They're called siakoi or something. It's basically like sea cow or something like that.
Yes. Sorry, but that just came. I don't even know how I ended up on that. You're talking about... Okay, let's go
Dragon Quest 2. No, Dragon Quest Builders 2 has been announced.
Yes.
We know it's coming to the West, so I think that was one of their typos or,
No, Dragon Quest 2 is here.
Dragon Quest 2 doesn't make sense because that game came out fucking years ago. So,
whatever.
Dragon Quest Builders is fucking fun. It's really good. It's really fun.
Just Cause 4?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, the third one came out. It was okay. Like, not shocked that they're trying to make another one.
Lego DC Villains. I don't even know what that is.
I think it's
just Lego?
He plays
Lego
Joker
game?
or some shit like that. Yeah.
Borderlands 3.
Yeah, that again. Gearbox has said they're working.
We
on Borderlands
knew
3.
Borderlands is coming,
yeah.
and oh man, I love Borderlands. Borderlands 1 was okay.
Borderlands 1 was a cool concept.
Yeah, when I played Borderlands 2, just took that concept and that bolted on a proper story, great characters, everything.
Great DLC.
Yeah, the DLC was great. Did you play Tiny Tina's DLC?
Yes, it was like a D&D
so
thing. Yeah, it was really
freaking
fun.
good. That to me was like, this is DLC done right. Like, if games could all do DLC like this, I have no issue.
But then the pre-sequel's pretty bad.
No, well, pre-sequel, it was fun, but it didn't have nearly this. Like, what I liked about the pre-sequel was just the new movements, the low gravity. And I enjoyed that.
The new heroes were also fun as well.
Yeah. But yeah, Borderlands 2 to me is still the best in the franchise, and I wouldn't say no to more Borderlands. But I just
say no, but I also don't know if
I don't know if that's gonna be pulled off because like
think of Gearbox, it's the only game they've managed to pull off that's like decent. Like you look at Battleborn, you're like fuck. You look at Duke Nukem, you're like fuck, and then Aliens Colonial Marines, like fuck. Oh
stop making games.
Please no, take it back.
So, but Borderlands 2 really was like, I don't know, magic in a bottle. They just everything was perfect, like the gunplay and the characters, and I mean the story wasn't like wow mind blowing, but there was story there, and the side quests were fun, and it really was
seeing them in a post Destiny world.
Yeah,
because like they are like a loot shooter. They popularized this idea of what if Diablo but first person shooter. But like players want content that, especially when you think of something like Destiny, that they want to be able to come back to constantly. And
So, I mean,
Borderlands has a definitive end.
Yeah, so between Borderlands 3 and the pre-sequel, a lot has happened. So Destiny is the perfect example of a shooter, looter, whatever, and people want that infinite grind. And I don't know. I don't know if
I don't know if they try to integrate that or not.
Reinvent itself and have that, or is it just going to be more of the same?
Yeah, imagine Borderlands is like, hey, we're making Borderlands, but an MMO. I'll be like, no, fuck, oh no.
So yeah, Borderlands 3, I'm curious to see how it turns out, but I don't. A part of me, I hate to say it, is like not hopeful. A part of me knows that
I feel like they got lucky. I mean, they got lucky with the first Borderlands because it was a novel idea, and then they got even luckier somehow improving on it with the second one.
Yeah.
And I think they squandered a lot with the pre-sequel. I think the Telltale one was pretty fun.
The Telltale Borderlands was
it's really
like
good.
Way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
when
way
they
better than
announced
it
it, I
should
was
be.
like, no man, like you can't have the like Borderlands' claim to fame is the fact that it's like a looter and shooter, and there's great characters, but then Telltale had the game, and I was like, God damn, they nailed it. It's like, I wouldn't say no to more of that stuff.
So I will see. I'm keen to see Gearbox get back in the game, but with caution.
Rage 2? I never played Rage 1.
Holy crap. This is the one that I looked at the list and I was like,
what?
How? This has to be fake, because this is coming from like one of Sandy's dreams, because despite all the internet hate around it, I thought Rage was pretty good. Yeah.
Who made Rage?
Id Software.
Okay.
So Rage was before
Doom and all of that.
And it was John Carmack was still at id Software when they developed Rage.
Okay, well, I completely forgot it was it, but that makes sense though, because they're owned by Bethesda.
Yes.
And Bethesda, I mean, they've had strong runs the past E3s, but every year it is like, well, what is Bethesda going to show this year? Like they showed everything last year, and then they come out, they show cool shit. It's like, oh, okay, well, what are they going to show next year then?
Well, if you want to know something interesting, Bethesda's the only publisher where they have no games announced for their future. Like Ubisoft, they've already announced Division, or Activision has already announced Call of Duty. Like there are certain staples that we know are coming. Bethesda literally has nothing ahead of them. And, in previous years at E3, it was always like,
something's
they teased Prey the year before, so it has to be Prey. Or they teased Wolfenstein, like they teased Wolfenstein 2 the year prior, so they announced it at this E3. And Evil Within 2 they were teasing, they announced it. Like there's nothing.
And they are having a conference though.
Yep, no, definitely. And they say it's going to be their longest yet. So,
that I know is outrageous.
Hey,
unintentional, guaranteed. So as I can't even think of a synonym to outrageous now. God damn it, help me here. As unlikely as it is, yes, that was difficult. As unlikely as it is that Rage 2 should exist, it doesn't surprise me now, because it's like, well, it's their franchise. Maybe it is a matter of just picking it up and giving it another breath of life for a sequel. I mean, they've got tons that. I don't know what they're doing with Elder Scrolls, but Elder Scrolls 6 has to come at some stage.
Get another fucking expansion.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen this year, but I think at some stage they will dive back into just a single player Elder Scrolls.
There's all this talk of whether they'll do another Fallout before then, and I'm like,
no, I don't know.
That'd be strange.
I think it's too like I haven't played Fallout.
Unless they do a thing like they did with New Vegas, where they give it to another developer, like it's not Bethesda Studios,
But I mean, we can touch on this in our E3 prediction thing, but like, what are Bethesda going to announce? I mean, there's a lot of things they can just whip out of nowhere. I mean, they've got that other game, that Star game, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, the one that they've been teasing, like a brand new IP that's to do with space
like
or something.
Elder Scrolls in space.
So like going back to this leak, Bethesda started leaning into this leak pretty heavily.
Oh, yeah?
They started tweeting out images, that kind of like tease something. So they had like the Tower of Big Ben with this like pink shade on it. And then they had a rocket ship with pink plumes of smoke. And then they had a very apocalyptic looking fucking dude that looks like he comes from Rage with this pink stuff. Yeah. So like people are like, well, are they teasing each of the individual games? Like, is the space thing thing, or are they teasing the DLC for Prey, which has already been teased before? Is the Big Ben Tower something to do with Dishonored?
Dishonored,
Is fucking apocalyptic dude? It's Rage 2. Like, we know Rage 2 is happening. Like 100% now. They've even said they're announcing something on the 14th, which is tomorrow.
Monday.
Yeah,
so by the time
they had a picture up today of this dude that looks like he came from Rage with the dates on his knuckles.
Okay, so you think it is Rage,
yeah.
So by the time you listen to this tomorrow, Rage 2 confirmed.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm almost certain.
If not, then pretend you never heard this podcast.
What I'm just shocked about is Rage never sold well. Rage didn't do super well critically. Like, holy hell, they're making another Rage. I think it's good because its software has just come off Doom, which was great, and let them play around with an open world thing before they work on another Doom.
I mean, and Bethesda's in a completely different place now. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like I've said they've got like the name is there. It's a Rage name and the franchise, whatever. Like, why not? They've got more resources now. Maybe bigger teams. Like maybe Rage, that universe does deserve a second run, and they want to.
I mean, Bethesda is completely like you said. They are in a different sort of. Stratosphere in terms of people acknowledging who they are. Back in the day, Bethesda was known for Elder Scrolls, and then when Fallout 3 came out, and it was like, holy fuck, Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And then they were just a publisher of these weird like id projects, and id at the time when they published Rage was like, it was almost like a dying breed. Yeah. Everyone's like, shit, it is really struggling. Like they cannot recreate what they did with Doom back in the day. John Carmack is introducing all this new tech which isn't as exciting anymore.
And look what they did with Doom. Sorry, after Rage.
Exactly. But it's like when was my first E3? 2015. Bethesda holds their very first conference and they have like fucking Doom. They have Dishonored 2. They have Fallout 4. They've got stuff for Elder Scrolls, and then just years and years after that,
every year after that, they've had
Wolfenstein. More Dishonored stuff. Evil Within 2 was fucking awesome. Like,
so, and then
they're on a run.
And so this year's we can 95.37% confirm that Rage 2 is.
I'm almost certain, yeah.
But I mean, like, what else they're gonna do? But let's save that for our actual week, E3 episode.
That was like the biggest news this week was just that sort of leak. What other stuff you got
from? On that list?
I'm letting you run here.
I know. Gears of War 5?
Yeah, sure. I thought we'd see Halo, but like Microsoft's been touting that this is going to be a big E3 for them, and I'm hoping there's new stuff.
Okay, if it's a big E3 for them, now I don't have anything against Xbox. I've never owned an Xbox, and I can appreciate what Xbox is, but if they announce Gears of War 5 and like Halo 6 and Forza Horizon 5, which is also on this list.
Forza Horizon's fucking brilliant.
Okay, no, I'm not knocking it at all.
I'll fight you.
But like, it's hard to, from my point of view, it's hard to be excited about like the same franchises over and over again. So it's like, I just don't know what Microsoft are doing. Like, they're just struggling with, I mean...
Even last year, like at the conference, it was just like, cool, we got Sea of Thieves. Oh, Crackdown 3, which just got delayed. Yeah. Well, it hadn't been delayed then. I was like, oh yeah, Crackdown 3 still exists. And I played it at E3 and it was fucking trash. And State of Decay 2 was like, there's nothing here that's exciting.
But that's the thing. So if they come out this E3, they're like, hey, here's Gears of War 5. I'm like, I've played the first Gears of War and I get it. But like, after so many games, and
it's really interesting.
Do something different.
Gears of War 4 came out and it was like, this is great. This is more Gears of War. But then you look at Sony and it's like, hey, here's a new God of War. It's like, oh. Yeah,
like they almost need that magic just to, I don't know, like, don't use these franchises. Sure, you've got them, but like reinvent them.
Yeah,
and I know it's easy to be like, well, just reinvent Gears of War. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I just think they're doing
pull
more,
away and do something different.
I think they're just doing more harm than good by just like, maybe they need it because they know, well, we're going to guarantee like 1 million sales.
Like even me, I remember the Microsoft that was like, hey, we have Halo.
Yeah.
And we've just made Halo 3 one of the most acclaimed shooters of all time, one of the best selling ones of all time. And our next one's going to be a spin-off that is completely different, ODST. Yeah. Like, fuck, where's that?
Yeah, like,
I'll play another Halo that's a spin. Like, I don't care that it has Halo in the name. Just give me something different. You know what I mean? Like, and ODST was brilliant. It still stands as like one of my favorite Halos to date.
And
but
even
like, do something with it, you know?
But even though it's not on this list, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they tease a Halo something because... like, that is their baby, and Halo's always been their baby. I mean, when did Halo 5 come out? It was not last year, the year before.
No,
way before.
Yeah, Halo 5 was still on... Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of 4. Never mind.
Yeah, no, 5
Halo
came
5
out-
was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, maybe they'll tease another Halo, but it's
really
like,
not good.
can we move away from that? Like, they desperately need...
They need new IP. And
IPs,
sadly, that's the thing. It's like every E3, everyone's going, shit, Microsoft needs new IP. But that stuff doesn't happen in a year.
No.
Like, that stuff doesn't even happen in 2 years. There was news this week that Microsoft's opening up a studio in Santa Monica. So that's part of that process, you know what I mean? Like,
they're planting the seeds there.
And I don't think we're really going to see Microsoft come out with big hits until the next hardware iteration. Like, there's no way. I think maybe they might have something up the sleeve for this year. But I wouldn't be surprised if they come on, it's like, Gears 5, Forza Horizon 4, hey, here's a teaser for Halo that's coming next year, and that's it.
That's it,
like, I'd be like, I was expecting that, you know?
But I do feel sorry for Microsoft, because even when they do, like, stretch their wings, I mean, they had Scalebound, which was like, it was hit or miss. It looked, when it was announced, it was like, whoa, like, cool, this game.
Platinum Games is making an Xbox
But then
game.
the more they showed, it was like, oh, okay, it
they had Phantom Dust. They had that year.
Yeah.
That year.
That was the same year,
games. Like,
I mean, they opened their conference with Metal Gear Solid 5, and it was like, whoa, holy shit, you know, like, cool.
Like, holy shit,
Microsoft's cool.
Yeah. I mean, they used to have Metal Gear Rising on their stage. They had Phantom Dust. They were like, yeah, we're rebooting Phantom Dust. That thing never came out.
Yeah.
We have Scalebound cancelled.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, they've had, what is that other one?
Crackdown, fucking delayed into oblivion.
There was that platformer / like the very deserty exclusive. Recall. Like they had that.
Awesome. Trash.
Bad, yeah.
Like, they had Ori 2 cancelled. No, I'm joking. Your face is just like, did I miss something? Hold on.
No, because you caught me mid-thought. I was like, yeah, and they had Cuphead. I was like, wait, no, Cuphead was really, really good. That's like the one thing that did really well.
Cuphead's phenomenal.
I was thinking of Sea of Thieves, which is like all their money, like, yeah, Sea of Thieves, Xbox exclusive. And so... I know you're playing State of Decay. We won't talk about it, but let's see how that goes.
I really wish I could inject this into this conversation. But,
Oh, man. Okay, well, we'll save that for next week or the following week, whatever.
But yeah, Microsoft, I don't know. I'm curious. And it's like Remedy Games this is part of another news story, but Remedy said that they're going to show off their new project at E3.
Oh.
But it's not a Microsoft project. It's being published by 505 Games. It doesn't look like anything they've sort of done. It almost looks like Supernatural and Nordic-y almost. I don't know. Looks kind of weird.
I like Remedy though.
Yeah, I love Remedy.
I fucking
pay for Quantum Break 2.
I still need to play Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, I still think is a really good game.
Really good, yeah.
I think it has problems, but I think it's good.
Like it's been forgotten. It feels like
it does. Yeah, a lot of people had issues with the game, but I thought it was good. I don't think it's. Are we saying Quantic Dream? Remedy.
No. Wait.
Remedy. Yeah, did we say Quantic Dream?
No. We said Quantum Break. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's Remedy.
No, I was like, oh my god,
Remedy Entertainment. Yeah, it's not as good as like Alan Wake. I think Alan Wake is still one of the best.
And Max Payne.
Yeah, the older Max Payne.
Yeah, not good. I never played Max Payne 2. Max Payne 1 and 2. Yes, I played those games.
Because 3 was
repeatedly.
Rockstar. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
We need an E3 episode. We'll do that next week, I think.
What other news is there?
I don't know.
I don't know what else there is. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what was interesting this week. It's mainly just people showing. Oh yeah, Sony talked about their E3 stuff as well. So just briefly, they kind of scared everyone because they were like, this year we're doing things differently. Turns out their format's not going to be different. It's not going to be a Nintendo Direct. The only difference is that they're talking about what games they're showing beforehand, which they've never really done. So they're going to have big exposés on Death Stranding, which is Hideo Kojima's game, Last of Us 2, Days Gone, which has just got a month of coverage from Game Informer and looking okay. It's coming out early 2019.
I'm hoping that game surprises us.
What's the fourth game?
Spider-Man. No, you said Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yes. Spider-Man.
Oh, wait, didn't you?
No, I didn't say Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
That's amazing.
So they're showing those 4. They said they're going to show VR stuff and a bunch of third-party stuff.
That's fine, but I'm curious to see what are their surprises.
To see more Last of Us 2. Like,
yes.
Everyone's like, shit, does this mean it's coming out this year?
No.
Stop trying to kid yourself. That game is out end of next year at best.
Oh, man.
Because think about it. They got Spider-Man September, Days Gone's early 2019. Fuck, Last of Us in 2019.
Days Gone will probably be their February, March game.
Yeah.
All right. It's like their God of War game.
Imagine Last of Us 2 coming out in November and then Days Gone in February.
It doesn't make any sense.
With very identical themes, you know what I mean? Like,
doesn't make sense. But yeah, Sony...
Death Stranding coming out in 2019? Don't think so.
No.
I think like
is it coming out ever?
Could you fucking imagine? It's a PT thing that just like it's out now.
Now, oh my god!
Like I highly doubt that will happen, but fuck,
dude, it's
that would
Kojima.
be crazy.
You never know.
I still hold on to the notion that Death Stranding's not going to be a
long game,
a Metal Gear Solid-esque game. It's not going to be long.
It's just
I wouldn't
be
be surprised if it comes out for like a $40 thing and it's like a 6-hour game. Would not be surprised, and I would buy into that any day of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
E3.
Okay,
I'm excited for next week because I really just want to keep talking like predictions.
E3 predictions are super fun.
Oh man, that's fun. Yeah,
okay, let's get into questions.
Oh yeah. Okay. We actually had some. Oh yeah, man, I've got a multitask here. Okay, well, I'm going to read you the first question while I timestamp this. Cool. So,
where do we get them on Twitter?
Yeah, these are all on Twitter. This is from at miles_away. When talking about successful revivals on last week's podcast, is there any reason you skipped AC Origins?
Oh.
So I replied to that and I said it wasn't intentional.
I think I just forgot.
Touched. Yeah, we never touched
because
it.
That 100% fits into that category.
Yeah, exactly. That okay, I've never played Origins, but I know it is.
Origins good.
Is it like a revival, or is it just like
it's still
polishing?
very, very Assassin's Creed. Like it doesn't change the formula drastically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're talking about revivals in the vein of God of War, like God of War is a massive departure from what God of War was. You know, Assassin's Creed Origins isn't on that level, but it changes the combat. It adds in loot-driven stuff, which is pretty neat. And I just think cohesively as a package, it's probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, Assassin's Creed. I mean, I still hold on to this notion that Assassin's Creed 2 is the best, but if you go and play that game now, it's hard to play. Yeah. But the way it made me feel at the time, it would be hard to top that. But Origins is very good.
Yeah, so we didn't skip Origins for any like
I think it's 100% deserving
reasons,
of that. Which again, you know, if Ubisoft are going back into a yearly thing, it makes me worry. Like, I want them to take the time and not butcher it again.
Yeah. I mean, and it really paid off. People loved Origins, so take the time.
Yeah, take the time. Yeah.
Okay, next question. I think we'll save this for next week, but I will mention it. From Zoe at Moonstormer. Happy Mother's Day, Zoe. Seeing as we are coming up on E3, what do you think makes a good conference? What do you think? Like, how do you feel about E3 versus Gamescom, and what are some of your favorite memories from past events? So I think that would be cool to lump that into our E3 episode.
Yeah,
maybe?
we could, but we could just briefly chat now. I think I wouldn't. I mean, I love the spectacle of the conferences, especially when I'm there. It's really interesting and stuff, but in terms of practicality and stuff, like I think Nintendo's Directs are the future of where conferences go. And I think Nintendo nails it because they can put out a Direct every 3 months and keep that momentum going. You know, Microsoft and Sony has like E3 and PSX, and Microsoft just has E3.
Yeah.
So while they are exciting and, you know, they get a lot of interest because they happen once a year, I think having a Direct is just as... I mean, Sony's conference was a fucking Direct last year.
Yeah.
Sean Layden came on stage. He's like, sup, left for an hour, came back, he's like, thanks.
Bye.
We just sat in an auditorium to watch an hour of trailers. Like, that was a fucking Direct. Like, so...
You'll probably save them money as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean...
It's more practical,
It's more practical, but we'll see. What was the other part of the question?
E3 versus Gamescom. Which is your favorite? It's hard. That's a hard one because I've also been to both and I've got such fun memories from both of them. But I
like Gamescom City more.
Yeah, I think the setting of Gamescom is better that you can get on. Yeah, yes.
Fuck LA shit.
LA. Oh my god, we stayed in Murder Motel, walked through like.
LA is just the weirdest city of like hot pots of culture and just loads of incredibly drug obsessed people and poor people, and it's depressing. It's not a nice city like at all.
Whereas Cologne in Germany is just this neat little, it's not even that little, but this little quiet city / town where I don't know,
you've got the Rhine running through the middle of it.
Yeah, there's
you get really good beer
and I don't know, there's just a different vibe. So I think while I have good memories from both and I've enjoyed doing both, Gamescom, I think maybe although...
I mean, I like the city, but I still think E3
I think, I was actually going to say E3, just the fact that it's more like surprise gaming news, whereas Gamescom's more like, here's stuff you saw at E3 and maybe like we'll pepper
also, Gamescom's just too big.
And that's
huge.
the one at the public, and
it's like it's like E3 is 2 halls, Gamescom is like 8.
Yes, Gamescom is
unbelievably big. But yeah, I enjoy E3 more because of the spectacle.
Yeah.
It's fun to be there. It feels special to be there. I really love E3.
But what Zoe didn't throw in this list is BlizzCon, which to me is still my favorite.
Oh yeah, you see, I haven't been to BlizzCon. You're very lucky.
BlizzCon, if you ever get a chance to go to BlizzCon, just go. It's unreal because that conference, you're there for one company. Everyone there is a fan of this one company.
I saw people bitching this weekend that they can buy tickets.
That they can't.
They couldn't. It was the second round of tickets, and people got into queue, and
they must sell out so quickly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you go to E3 and Gamescom, it is like here's every single publisher and every studio, and like people walking the halls. Like one's a PlayStation fan, one's an Xbox fan, one's a Nintendo. Whereas BlizzCon, it's purely Blizzard games and it's purely Blizzard fans, and you just walk through those halls and they are massive. There's like massive, just like big Overwatch stand, big this stand, big StarCraft that. And the people walking, you can feel the Blizzard love. Like you can tangibly feel the excitement for Blizzard, and it's unreal. Like they're hands down my favorite conference. Nothing against the other two, but yeah, BlizzCon's still my favorite by far. And I think some of our fave memories from past events.
I will never ever forget. Very first E3. I went to the Sony conference, which was at its old venue before. It was like a sports arena, but they demolished it the year after. And obviously that was my first time in America, first time in LA, first day of press conferences. This was when all the press conferences were still on the same day. They've segmented them now. So I just done like Microsoft in the morning, had done EA, which is fucking boring. Straight to Ubisoft.
Don't you like FIFA and Pele?
Pele was there. He was pretty cool. Then we were at Sony. We were eating good food. But that conference was the conference where Last Guardian got re-revealed.
Oh my gosh.
Final Fantasy VII reboot.
I was covering that conference for Critical Hit from home. Yeah. So it was like 3-4 in the morning for me here.
Dude,
and watching that conference and then just the energy in my room. I was by myself. I was like, did they just announce the Final Fantasy VII remake?
And they showed off footage and
gosh.
the energy. I mean, when Sean Lennon came on, he's like, we're not going to waste time. And like, you just see Last Guardian. It was like, I had Zoe next to me actually, and we were both like freaking out over it. And it was, I'll never forget the energy in that room at that conference. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was that, and I think it probably might be your thing, the God of War.
God of War.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's funny because that conference, I don't remember what we were expecting at the time, but it was like, maybe a whisper of God of War, like a new God of War.
Yeah, and back then it was like,
but you never expected it. You're like, whatever. But then they open and there's this trailer. I can't remember if it started out with
they had the live orchestra.
Yeah. But then they
Ben
show
McCreary
like
was there,
Atreus is busy. Well, we don't know his name and somebody's busy talking. Or there's something happening on screen. It's like a minute or two, and then like the camera turns and it's just Kratos.
Yeah.
You're like, that place era, and every time I talk about it, I get goosebumps.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
There's a sound in my head that I still recognize. It was just like this roar of like
elation. It is like
crazy. And
it
was in this beautiful auditorium with this like live orchestra playing all the music. So none of the music was coming from speakers. It was all this like it was fucking incredible.
And just him coming out of the shadow in frame. He's got this glorious beard, and we're like, what just happened?
I remember Garth yelling out in joy.
It's like, oh,
that to me, I'll
that's
never forget
definitely a highlight.
Ever.
Oh man,
wasn't that also the night where they had donuts on the wall?
Yeah,
that was a good time too. I enjoyed that.
E3. I've only been to one, but man, what a conference. One. Yes, you're like a veteran now.
Yeah,
man.
Very, very excited.
You're soon going to be part of, like, we've got a lot of friends who've been journalists for years, and they've done tons of E3s.
This is my 7th year, man.
They're like, it's my 8th year now, it might be my last one. I'm like, man, I hope I never feel like I've only been to one. But
man, I never, when everyone's like, I'm tired of traveling to the States, fucking put me on that plane.
You know what?
That flight's shit, but I don't care.
I love traveling. Like that. Yeah. If people hate plane rides, I get so excited. I'm like, fuck, I get to sit down and watch movies for 16 hours and have people serve me. Like, why not?
Dude, and I mean, I love all the international press, and I respect all the international press, but like, when you get to E3 and there's people from like Kotaku or Polygon, who fly over from the East Coast, and America's not a small country. That's a good 6-7 hour flight.
Yeah.
and they're like, man, that flight was long. It's like, fuck, you have no idea, my friend.
The best is the reaction, like, where are you from? Like, from South Africa. Like, whoa. How long is that flight?
God, the amount of times you have to answer that question at E3 is ludicrous.
Yeah, and I'm like, 16 hours. Like, whoa, bro, that's hectic.
Yeah, because
like,
no one's ever flown that much.
Stop complaining about your shitty little 7 hour
your shitty flight here from fucking San Francisco that takes like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, we could talk about. I'm going to say next week
next week we'll talk more about this. Yeah,
because we can still talk about like our flight through Saudi Arabia. Oh my gosh, at layover. Yeah, that's a teaser for next week. Yeah. Sure. So final question. Thank you for all the questions, by the way. We got some really good ones.
I'm really happy.
Me too. Happy Mother's Day. This comes from Abe_Wilson. It says, what was the first game that got either of you into gaming? Something you couldn't wait to go and play after school when you were growing up?
Oh, that's tough.
Okay, I don't know. I'll get to gaming after school, but one of my first games I always remember playing is Contra. I just have such memories of that game, playing it, and it boggles my mind because I played the game a few years ago, and it's really difficult. But as a kid, I finished a game. I could play it from beginning to end without dying, maybe once or twice, but I've nailed it. And I just have such fun memories of playing that like repeatedly. Yeah, so that's.
I remember you giving me the copy on DS, and that game was hard.
That's Contra 4, man. You should play the original. The original's even harder. Yes.
So I never owned consoles when I was growing up. I used to live at friends' houses to play like. I have this really distinct memory of a good friend of mine when I was growing up. I used to always be at his house, but I never knew he owned a PlayStation 1. And then, I don't know, one day he just surprised you. Like just hey. Fucking had one. And I think from like 9 a.m. that morning till I left that afternoon, we just played Crash Team Racing the whole day.
What a game. I had did you have a multi-tap?
No, I always knew of them, but I never.
We had a multi-tap, so we could play four-player Crash Racing. Man. And the funny thing is we had, like, I think if I remember, we had 2 proper PlayStation controllers. We had a 3rd generic one, and then we had a fight stick
to play Crash
which we used to play Crash. Yeah, because we didn't have a 4th controller, but that worked. You plugged it in and it worked, and you would hold the push button, the go button.
That would actually work quite nicely because you just hold one of the buttons and then you just tap in.
Yeah, and you've got your little joystick. Cool, actually.
Yeah. Man. So I used to from then on just try find friends who had consoles and live at their houses and play games. But I think the game that I always looked forward to playing when I eventually got a console was the original Xbox, the OG Xbox.
OG.
And I knew one other person who was a friend of mine who had one, and we used to play a lot of the original Halo Combat Evolved.
Did you land with your Xbox?
We did actually. At one time we tried to do it. I didn't understand networking at that age. Like, it was very confusing.
It's like, what the hell?
But I remember every weekend being very excited to play Combat Evolved or Halo Combat Evolved. Like, I think we played that campaign many times. It was
it's
really
interesting
good.
You say every weekend. So did you have the whole Portuguese upbringing where you weren't allowed to play games during the week?
No, I could. I just remember checking. I remember always going to his place and we would carry on with our co-op campaign of Halo. But yeah, I could play during the week. I played a bunch of games.
Growing up, I wasn't allowed to.
Oh, really?
I could only play games on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and during holidays.
No, I could play anytime. But like I said, I usually didn't have a console, so I usually ended up not playing.
It was awful. Can you imagine having the console staring you right there and you can't play? And it was funny because I vaguely remember my brother and sister have to correct me on this, but like my sister played, like, we had Formula 1 97 action, PlayStation 1. Oh, that's so old.
Pinnacle of graphics.
All the memories, oh my God. So, but like, they were older. I mean, my brother's 7 years older than me. My sister's 9 years older than me. So I think when they hit like 18 and 20, it was like, well, we can't restrict their gaming. But Matthew, you can't play until weekends. So like, they would play and I couldn't. It's awful.
That's horrible.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm sure that's fact. I could be wrong.
That is terrible. Terrible, awful, whatever.
Oh man, but games after school, I remember, especially in high school, my dad actually caught me once. Keep in mind. He caught you
smoking?
No, worse than that. He caught me playing during the week.
Oh no!
So I remember playing Unreal Tournament. That was one game playing on PC, and that Yes, that game had like infinite replay value because you could play like those,
like the OG one.
Yeah, so you could play like the story missions, or you could just play like through the actual Unreal Tournament, whatever. And I was playing during the week once, and I was playing in the study, and there are big windows surrounding the computer, and it was evening.
Was this in this place you're staying now?
Yeah, so my original study, the desk in my room used to be downstairs in the study.
Okay.
There's all those windows around.
Yes.
So I was playing one evening, and my dad walked past and he knocked on the window, and I like shat my pants and put the screen off. And like when I looked at the window, he was gone because he's obviously so mad that he had seen me playing. And then he came in later and he's like, "Were you playing games?" I was like, "No." He's like, "I saw you. There was running happening and stuff." So yeah, but that's one game I remember as well. Like one thing to play that
that's
after
so funny.
school.
You could have been smoking, could have been watching porn.
Yes.
No, it's video games.
Yeah. And so another story, actually, this is funny how many of these games I actually played. It's funny the moment you restrict something, how your kids want to do it more.
Oh yeah, that's like, just absolutely. Like the principle.
I finished Final Fantasy 7. Okay, you ready for this? So have you finished Final Fantasy 7?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a last save point before you enter the crater.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and I didn't really want to leave the PlayStation because it was, I don't know if I wasn't allowed to, or it would maybe give it away that I'd play whatever. So I had that save point, and I played that last bit right up to Sephiroth, and I killed him. Okay. And then there's that long cutscene that happens. It's like a 10-minute whatever. But then my dad came and I had to put the TV off, and I never saw the ending of Final Fantasy 7 until like that weekend. I had to repeat it. So yeah, this is what happens when you restrict your kids from playing.
They never see the end of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and they cry and they have to fight. And Sephiroth was fucking hard.
Yeah, he's a hard fight. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how old I was. I was little. I didn't know how material worked or equipment. I'd obviously just grinded enough to the point where I could fight him and beat him eventually after struggling along. Beat him, can't watch the end credits. Yeah. Life is hard. I had a hard childhood, man. Yeah.
That's borderline abuse.
That's like hashtag first world problems right there.
Borderline abuse.
Yeah. And that's it.
Cool.
Yeah. It was fun. Thank you for the questions, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
I feel like we could spin entire questions. I could talk about that shit for days. Yeah.
As always, you can answer questions on Twitter, our Twitter account. At Checkpoint Chat. Yeah, Matty always puts up something that you can answer. And then you can also email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
We don't get much questions there. I think Twitter's great for that.
Yeah, Twitter's just instant, like, oh yeah. Just reply.
Yeah, and then thank you for listening.
Yeah.
You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, on Anchor FM, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Google Play, all the things.
Basically.
If your desired platform of choice has a rating system, please use that. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a 5-star. Give us a 1-star.
Yo, 5-star chocolates.
Yeah. Give us sponsorships.
You can give me a 5-star in your life. I'll be so happy.
But yeah, that just puts us in higher in the charts and lets us reach more people. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And next week we'll probably do an E3 predictions episode. So if you're really keen on getting in on that, send in your predictions, send in questions you want to ask. What do we think of the possibility of X, Y, Z? What do we think of the possibility of Final Fantasy VII Remake showing up again? 0.
Don't make me talk about that sensitive subject. Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be a fun episode, and I thought this was fun. Yeah, thanks, Matty.
Fun. Yeah,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thanks for bringing me
You're
flowers.
not a mom, are you?
No.
Oh yeah. You're welcome. Enjoy flowers.
Yeah, pink apron.
Pink apron. Triangle space.
Yeah.
A better way to build.
Can't wait till next week when we get a different. I'm running out of fake sponsors.
Don't worry. I'll think up one. Well, actually, we both very good at it. So yeah. It's all me. Okay, bye.